With all these panels, we're going to be doing some experimenting today to create a nice decorative piece for your home. Let's get started. Hi everyone, I'm Gina Dargan. I'm a textile artist and creator of fibers and design. And in this video, I'm going to be experimenting with creating a table runner with only using a small frame loom. Now this is the frame loom that I use in most of my tutorials, and so I'm going to be using this to create some panels and put them together to create a nice decorative piece for your home. So let's get started. In order to create the short table runner we're going to be making, we need to start with some panels just like this. Now I'm using a combination of 2 and 5 millimeter cotton cord. So we have some that are really thin, really fine. It's going to come out to be something like this. And we're also going to be using 5 millimeter, so it's going to be a little bit chunkier like this. Now, you don't have to use two different yarn thicknesses. I ended up using two because I ran out of the smaller one, but I really do like the contrast between these two when they're, so like here we have a bit more of a finer texture and here a bit more chunkier. And I think it'll be really beautiful and interesting when I put them all together. I've added the warp to the loom, so the next step is to tighten or tune the warp. Afterwards, I add 2 rows of yarn to help me create a base and spread out the warp. Usually I go in with a fork, then space out the pairs of warp strings before adding weft. Next, I wove a row of twining to keep the weft in place after the weaving is removed from the loom. And now I will continue to weave with the plain weave pattern until I've reached the top. Each panel that I wove is 10 inches long and 6 inches wide. You can see the difference in the texture appearance even though they were all woven with the plain weave pattern. The other difference is the panel thickness. Once you finish weaving all the panels that you want, so here I only have 5, I'm going to make a short table runner. So when you finish weaving all of the panels that you want, you're going to make sure that you secure all of the ends of each of the panels on both sides, the top and the bottom. And this is going to make sure that the ends and the weaving stay in place. So again, here you can see I have full range of motion with the panels. I can wiggle them around. And I've also gone on the back and tidy up the back of each of the panels. There are a few loose pieces here on the ends, but I'm going to cut those off once I sew the panels together. So the next step we have after tidying up the ends and the back is going to be sewing them together. To attach the panels together, I wanted to create some depth. So I played around with stacking the pieces. 2 panels would be slightly under 1 panel. I thought this would be interesting to place the panels in a diagonal or create one large form, but in the end I just put the thicker panels on top of the thinner ones. So as you're putting the table runner together, it's up to you how you want to put the panels together. You can experiment with different shapes, right? So you could make an interesting composition of everything in one area, or you could make it all, just like as a traditional table runner, like in a horizontal shape and form. So it's really up to you. I'm going to just keep it really simple, make it a short table runner, just so that it just, it's simple. um, yeah, I think it can be, in this piece, I think simplicity is key. It's always nice if you can make something really simple, but it still looks really nice. So that's what I'm sticking to in this project. Once I had chosen the placement of the panels, it was time to hand sew them together. I overlapped the 2 panels in a 1-inch section, then using some strong warp, I sewed along the edge. Let's take a short project break and let me tell you a little bit about a few weaving resources that I've created that will help beginners go from total novice beginners to becoming confident weavers on the loom. I created a few courses and resources for beginner weavers, and you can check it out at classes.fibersanddesign.com. This is a great resource for beginner weavers who want to learn how to weave from the very beginning and to give you some experience and practice, all while making really beautiful and cool designs on the loom. And don't worry, you can use the same frame loom just like this for your projects. So be sure to check out classes.fibersanddesign.com for more weaving resources for beginners. All right, now back to the video. I'm not the best hand sewer, but it was pretty easy to use the warp strings within the panels as a guide for sewing along. Once I finished sewing all the panels side by side, I also made sure to tidy up the back and sew down any loose corners. Now, let's take a look at the finished results. All right, well, that is the end of our tutorial for today. I hope that this was very helpful for you and helps you kind of experiment on the frame loom with different types of projects that you can create as well. So these are just some experiments and just having some fun on the loom. And yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this project and saw the tutorial and get some inspiration for your own work. Yeah, well, please let me know down in the comments if this was helpful for you and if there is a tutorial that you would like to see next. Yeah, let me know down below, or you can also contact me at fibersanddesign@gmail.com. If you're interested in any of my online classes for beginners, then please be sure to check out the links below at classes.fibersanddesign.com. All right, everyone. Well, I hope to see you all in a future video. And until then, please take care and see you next time. Bye.